In the beginning, we see a future time. More than 100 years have passed since the world was destroyed by war. Big cities are now empty, filled with toxic air. The whole earth is covered in darkness. Only one last city is left where people can still live. The other parts of the world are too dry and poisonous. No humans can survive there. Only some strange animals live there now. Over time, they have mutated and they survive by eating each other. Because of this, most people never think of leaving the last city. If anyone goes outside, it is almost impossible to come back alive. This last city is ruled by a king and a church. No one can break their rules. Today, a woman named Alice is about to be killed by the church guards. She has the power to hypnotize people. The church believes her power is dangerous for them. So the guard leader, Arlie, wants to hang Alice. But suddenly, Alice uses her hypnotic power. She makes one guard see an illusion. In the illusion, it looks like he himself is hanging. Scared, he cuts the rope to save himself. But in reality, he cut Alice's rope and freed her. When he sees Alice running toward him, he shoots. But the illusion tricks him and he kills another guard instead. All of this is happening because of Alice's power. Arlie gets angry and kills that guard himself. Then, he orders the other guards to kill Alice at any cost. But Alice kills them one by one. In the end, she hangs the leader Arlie with his own rope and runs away. On the other side, there is a hunter named Boyce. He is traveling alone to the city. While moving through a tunnel, he suddenly stops because he feels danger. His guess was right. A group of bandits surrounds him and tries to steal the weapons from his horse, but they did not notice that a two-headed snake was sitting on Boyce's gun. The snake suddenly bites one of the bandits. Then, Boyce attacks fast and kills all the bandits one by one. He even takes their weapons. When leaving, he also takes his snake friend with him. Meanwhile, Alice, who escaped from the church guards, finds shelter with a blind woman. The woman tells Alice that the church is afraid of her power. If people follow Alice, the church will lose control. While they are talking, the queen secretly arrives with her helper, James. The queen sends her guards outside and tells Alice in private that she is also unhappy with the church's choice to kill Alice. But she cannot go against her husband, the king, otherwise she too wishes to destroy the church. But the queen cannot act because of her husband. Now she tells Alice about a mission. Far away from the safe zone, there is a place called Skull River. A strange creature lives there and keeps killing their guards. The queen asks Alice to kill this creature within 6 days. After that, the queen will take power and end the rule of the church. Since even her best guards could not kill the creature, she now comes to Alice for help. The outside world is full of danger and very few can survive there. Alice agrees to go because if she wins, the church will fall and she can live freely in the city. For this mission, Alice takes a large amount of money from the queen. She knows she cannot survive alone in that dangerous land. She needs to hire a skilled bounty hunter to protect her. Before leaving, the queen's helper, James, secretly warns Alice. He says nobody knows if the queen can really handle such power. James suggests Alice should keep the money and fail the mission on purpose. That way, both of them can gain something. To make Alice trust him, James even gives her a very expensive watch as a gift. Meanwhile, the queen, after secretly meeting Alice, returns to her old husband, the king. He has become so weak and sick that he is now very close to death. The queen tells the nurses to take good care of the king. After that, she secretly goes to meet Boyce. In truth, the queen has a hidden relationship with Boyce. She only wants to use Alice to keep full control for herself so that the church can never stop her again. Later that evening, Boyce sits alone in a bar. Alice comes to meet him. She tells him about her mission, to travel through the deadly outside world and reach Skull River, the most dangerous place left on Earth. There, they must face a terrible creature. Since the mission is too risky, Alice has come straight to Boyce, the most feared hunter in the city. To convince him, she even offers James's expensive watch. Boyce warns Alice that the outside world is far more dangerous than she thinks. He asks her, "What if I fail to protect you?" But Alice gives him a choice. If things get too dangerous, he may leave her and save his own life. As they talk, the church guards suddenly appear to capture Alice again. Alice and Boyce quickly run away. One guard aims to shoot them, but Boyce throws his twin-headed snake at him. The snake attacks, striking guard after guard. Just then, their leader Arlie arrives, the same man Alice once tried to hang. Somehow, he survived, and now he has come for revenge. In the fight, Arlie even kills Boyce's snake, but before he can catch them, Alice and Boyce escape. Meanwhile, the church leader, Patriarch, gives strict orders. Alice and Boyce must be hunted down and punished no matter what. They have killed too many guards, and worse, the people of the city have started protesting against the church after seeing Alice escape. If this continues, a full rebellion may break out, so the church wants to crush the fire of rebellion at the very beginning. The guards then capture the old blind woman who once gave Alice shelter. They beat her until she reveals the truth. Alice has left with Boyce, heading towards Skull River. Even after the old woman tells the truth, the guards kill her on Patriarch's orders. Then, he forms a deadly squad led by Arlie himself. Their only mission is to hunt Alice and Boyce, kill them, and prove that no one else should dare rebel against the church.
Meanwhile, Alice and Boyce have already left the city far behind. Boyce finds a safe place outside the walls where they spend the night. He still feels the loss of his twin-headed snake and tries to find another one, but fails. The next day, after a long journey, they reach their first stop, an old trading post outside the city. Two siblings live there, Rose and her sister Mara. Secretly, Mara and Boyce have feelings for each other. That means Boyce not only has a hidden affair with the Queen, but also with Mara. As they sit and eat, Alice explains her mission. Within 6 days, they must reach Skull River and kill the creature. But at their current pace, it will take too long. Boyce then tells her about a dangerous shortcut. If they take it, they can reach Skull River on time, but the risk is much greater. Since there is no other choice, Alice agrees. That night, Boyce grows close with Mara, then falls asleep. In the morning, they prepare to continue. Boyce warns Alice, "From here on, it's no longer safe. You won't see humans anymore. Only mutants and death all around." At the same time, the city guards, led by Arlie, are chasing them on a train. Their goal is to catch Alice and Boyce before they reach Skull River. Back in the city, the Queen learns that Alice and Boyce are being hunted. She secretly argues with the church leader, Patriarch. Patriarch says this is perfect. If Alice and Boyce die quickly, it will prove no one can stand against the church. But the Queen cannot reveal the truth that she herself sent Alice on the mission, and that she also has a secret affair with Boyce. What the Queen does not know is that Patriarch has his own hidden plan. Once the old king dies, he intends to remove the Queen as well. Then, the church alone will rule with absolute power, and the church dreams of ruling the last city forever. Meanwhile, a train full of guards reaches the trading post. They capture Rose and Mara and start torturing them. The guards ask where Alice and Boyce went. At first, they stay quiet, but when Mara sees her brother in pain, she finally breaks. She tells them the truth. Alice and Boyce took the shortcut road to Skull River to save time. Even after getting the answer, Arlie shows no mercy. He orders his men to burn down their house and kill them both. On the other side, Alice and Boyce have been traveling for 3 days. Now, they only have 3 more days to reach Skull River and kill the dangerous creature. Their path brings them to a ruined city called Rift. In the middle of Rift, there is a huge canyon. The only way to cross is by using an old cable car. Boyce says a man named Cyrus usually runs the cable car. They just need to pay him and cross. But when they look for Cyrus, they find him already dead. That means the guards reached Rift first. Suddenly, Alice and Boyce are surrounded. Arlie himself arrives with all his guards. This time, every guard wears dark sunglasses, so Alice cannot hypnotize them with her eyes. Arlie looks at Boyce and says, "You made a big mistake by siding with Alice." Then he drags Mara forward. She is weak, but about to speak. Before she can say a word, Arlie shoots her dead. Boyce watches in shock. His heart breaks. His pain turns into pure rage. Now this mission is no longer about money or survival. For Boyce, it has become personal. Alice also helps him and attacks the guards. Both of them are skilled fighters, and they keep defeating the guards, one by one. But after some time, they realize there are too many guards. Fighting like this is not possible. So, while fighting, they start to escape. Then, Arlie brings out a huge cannon and fires at them. They barely survive and jump onto the cable bus to cross the deep pit. Some guards reach the bus, and Alice and Boyce fight hard to save their lives. The bus keeps moving forward on the cable. They start throwing the guards off the bus. Some guards climb up to the roof and shoot from above. Boyce fights the guards inside the bus, while Alice climbs up and fights the ones on the roof. She throws them all down one by one. Boyce keeps handling the guards below. From a distance, Leader Early watches his men falling one after another. So, he orders the cable to be cut so the bus will fall. Once one cable is cut, the bus hangs halfway. Alice barely manages to hold on, while Boyce throws down the last guard. Then, the final cable is cut too. The bus starts to fall straight down. Luckily, it gets stuck on the edge of a cave instead of falling all the way down. Alice and Boyce quickly run inside the cave. At that moment, Arlie shoots Boyce in the shoulder, but before he can take a headshot, Alice pulls Boyce to safety. Alice finds a safe spot and treats Boyce. She removes the bullet and stitches his wound. Now he is safe. But after seeing Mara's death, Boyce swears he will not let any church guard live. Meanwhile, in the city, the queen learns she is pregnant. She also knows the baby is not the king's, but Boyce's. Nobody outside knows this secret. And now, since she has an heir, she doesn't need her husband anymore. Quietly, the queen kills the king. On the other side, Alice and Boyce move forward and reach an old, dangerous military base called Shadowban. This place is very risky because of mutations, but to save time on their journey, they have no choice but to take this shortcut. Soon, they hear the sound of the guard's train coming from behind.
But before they could sleep, they heard terrible sounds. The mutants had arrived. Boyce followed the plan and kept fire all around so the mutants would not come near. But this time, the mutants attacked straight through the fire. Alice and Boyce both fired their guns, trying to kill them, but these mutants were no longer human. They felt no pain. They were just hungry monsters. Boyce tried to scare them by blasting oil tanks again and again. Alice also kept fighting, but the mutants were too many and too strong. At last, when the mutants almost reached Alice to eat her, she used her greatest weapon. She hypnotized them the moment they came close and showed them an illusion that they were burning in fire. One by one, the mutants screamed in fake fire and died. In the end, she made the flames in their minds even stronger, and all the mutants were destroyed. After some time, when everything was quiet, Boyce asked, "How did we survive this fire? Why did only the mutants die?" Alice explained that in reality, no fire had ever been there. She had hypnotized the mutants and made them believe they were burning. Since Boyce had already told her that fire was the mutants' biggest weakness, the illusion alone was enough to kill them. But by mistake, Boyce also got caught in her illusion. All this time, Boyce had been the one protecting Alice, but now Alice's special power had saved them. After this, they were very close to Skull River. Just one more day of walking, and they would reach their final destination. Back in the city, after the king's death, it was announced that the queen's baby would be the next ruler. But the church leaders were not happy. The head of the church sent orders to his men to kill Alice and Boyce at any cost. After that, they would also kill the queen and take full control of the city. But the queen understood their plan, so she trapped her assistant James with a promise. If he killed the church leaders for her, she would marry him, and together they would rule the kingdom. Meanwhile, Alice and Boyce, still running from the guard's train, realized they could not keep running forever. At some point, they would be caught. So they made a final plan. Alice stood in front of the train alone. When the guards saw her, they drove the train forward to chase her. But they did not know this was Alice and Boyce's trap. Alice led the train to a broken bridge and jumped off just in time, where Boyce was already waiting to catch her. The train could not stop and went straight down into the pit, exploding on impact. All of Early's guards were killed. This news reached the church leader, and he decided that now the queen must die, or else everything would be lost. But before he could act, James and his men attacked the church members from behind. Because the queen had already won James to her side, he killed all the church leaders one by one. Now the queen was the only ruler of the city. As a reward, she spent the night with James. On the other side, Alice and Boyce finally reached Skull River after their long, dangerous journey. This was once a sea, but now the water was gone and everything had changed. Many people had died there, leaving behind mountains of bones. Because of this terrible history, the place was called Skull River. Alice and Boyce finally reached Skull River to find the creature. Tonight was the full moon, and the Queen had given them only until tonight to complete their mission. Alice put on her silver blades and stepped out, ready to fight. Boyce tried to warn her that the creature might attack at any moment, but as soon as the full moon rose, something shocking happened. Boyce started to transform. He was turning into the werewolf. And here came the biggest twist. Boyce was actually the werewolf that attacked people during full moons. He didn't even know it himself. Alice had known it all along. That was why she had brought him here. She couldn't let the full moon control him. So, as he transformed, she attacked him with her silver blades. Even though Boyce was stronger than her, Alice was prepared. She used illusions to confuse him and attacked with her blades from below. She had already tested him with mutants before, learning how to hypnotize him through illusions. Using her power, she finally overpowered him. When Boyce returned to his human form, he was seriously injured. Alice gave him water and explained that when she had first treated his wounds, she had secretly placed a silver plate inside his body, which slowly weakened him. That is how she was able to defeat him here. She had planned everything from the start. Alice apologized because Boyce had saved her so many times, and she had started to care for him, but there was no other choice. With the full moon, he would transform again. Finally, the moon rose, and Alice fulfilled her promise to the Queen. She killed the werewolf Boyce and took a part of his body to give to the Queen, which would grant her power. Then, she buried Boyce and returned to the city, where people had already started rebelling in her name. She handed over the werewolf part to the Queen and said her job was done. But when the Queen realized that the creature was actually Boyce, the man she had loved and the father of her unborn child, she broke down. James, who had thought the Queen loved him, became furious when he learned the truth, saying she had only used him for her own gain. Before he could act, the grieving Queen, enraged by Boyce's death, killed him. Meanwhile, the people's rebellion had reached its peak. With the church destroyed and its old power gone, the city was free. The Queen also eliminated her own guards, and democracy returned to the city. But Boyce was not completely dead. In the sunlight, the werewolf's skin burned, but Alice had only destroyed his werewolf form. The Queen had asked Alice to bring the werewolf's skin to gain power, but when she realized it was Boyce, she didn't use it. Boyce returned to the city, and Alice, in her office, was helping people with their problems. Boyce came to see her, and now they were together, deeply in love. The werewolf skin was destroyed, and the story ended with a happy ending.